Good morning, YouTube subscribers, Finsightful members, and PTS profitable traders. Matt Brown here, back for my Monday market scan. It's 9 a.m. Monday morning on the 10th of March. And wow, what a weekend we had. So there was a lot of positivity wanting to come out of the first, digital crypto conference that they had in the White House over the weekend. And the who's who of, crypto elites and people that are running large crypto protocols and infrastructure, Web3 of tomorrow, were all meeting with President Trump and his executive committee to really, shape the future of the cryptocurrency asset class going forward. And it was a bit of a fizzer. So there was no real new information that came out that was going to provide that positive news that the market was really searching for to enable prices to start to increase again. And no news, rather than being good news, was actually bad news. And we had a huge sell-off overnight. So it's Sunday, so US Sunday time, Australia overnight really had a huge sell-off. We had a massive red candle signaling about a 4 or 5% decline in the Bitcoin price. And so as the OG coin sells off, it has a significant reaction to the entire market. And if we have a look here at what's been happening, so this is just coin market cap. If we have a look here, so Bitcoin sold off 5% overnight. On the week, it's down 12, and it's just red everywhere. So some things have sold off more. So Ethereum's down pretty much nearly double. XRP's down. Solana's $127. This is I never would have imagined that we would be able to buy Solana again at under $130. Cardano, like everything that went up with the Trump pump, that's all given all of those profits back. Interesting to see. Link's down 10%. It's really overnight been an absolute bloodbath in the streets, which is not what we want to see. And we keep wanting to buy those dips and pack up or stack our bags, but no matter how many dips, it seems to continue to dip further at the moment. And this is just part of the volatility that you must accept if you are going to be an investor and or trader in this particular asset class. And I said last week as well, the main difference between being a trader and an investor is that traders probably made a significant amount of money overnight, because when you have big market moves like that, you'll want to be trading those, and you can typically get into some really nice positions short and then ride that volatility or that price movement down. And so that's exactly what we've done in the PTS membership or over at Finsightful. Over the weekend, we had, about 8 different trades go off overnight. And so all of those profitable trades generate USDT for us. So out of nowhere, we now have a new amount of capital because all of our trading profits have hit our account. And then with prices so low, myself and a few of the members are then redeploying that capital at the new lows so we can continue to buy more and more of the long-term assets that we want to hold. And so let's just have a look. The fear and greed. So we're in max fear at the moment. So if we're having a look over the last 12 months, we're here at 24. It doesn't get much more fearful than that. But like I've mentioned again and again, when you do have these periods here where we're at maximum fear, this is when you want to be buying, and then you want to be sort of taking some profits when we get back up here to maximum greed. But if you have a look down here, we've been at maximum fear for a week now. So if you have a look at the last 30 days, we've been sitting at maximum fear for nearly the whole of February and March. So it's hard to continue to buy when you continue to see your spot asset prices really get hammered at the moment. But you've got to continue on. So with that all being said, I'll go through some of the charts in a second. We'll just go through some news. So a crypto wallet has come out of being dormant, and it actually has $400 million worth of Bitcoin. So hang on a second. It's $400 million worth of Bitcoin. And this was attached to a dark web marketplace that was involved in the sale of weapons and drugs and all things illegal. But this wallet has come back awake, or it has awakened, and it has moved a significant amount of Bitcoin around. Need to put my notifications on hold. So we have lost my train of thought. So yeah, they've been moving now. This wallet has become awakened now. So why for the last 8 years has this particular wallet been dormant? Well, if you're involved in illegal activity, you could have been locked up in jail, or they were just ensuring that they wanted to just keep those assets there because they wanted to not raise any more concerns in regards to that wallet being attached and a significant amount of capital being on that wallet at that particular time. But I think what you'll find is the majority of that capital will now be moved around the internet, and it will get washed and it will get moved back out, or continue to buy other different things. And I guess this is one of the issues that the US government, or I guess all governments globally, are going to be looking at, really bringing in more regulation and laws so that everything is on chain. They can track what's going on, but how do they govern these particular asset movements or these particular wallets? One of the biggest things that I think is going to happen this year will be that every single wallet will have to have KYC or KYB. So that's know your client or know your business. So and once they start to do that, they've already made all of the exchanges do that. So all your centralized exchanges are already doing that. They'll then start to make all of the decentralized exchanges have KYB, KYC, and then from there they'll be able to see all of the movement or transactions of any type of asset, and then they'll then force the big wallet providers, so MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Phantom Wallet, they will basically make them comply with KYB and KYC, and then once that all happens and everything is on chain, they will then be able to track everything that has gone on previously, and then everything that will go on into the future. So it's something to definitely be mindful of. Michael Saylor's been at it again. He believes that the US government should buy up to 25% of the Bitcoin supply between now and 2035. So 2035 is when 99% of all Bitcoin will have been mined. So the whole 21 million, or 20.5 million of the 21 million will all be mined by that particular stage. And he's saying that the American government should buy between 5 and 25%, and has basically said that they should not they should not sell any Bitcoin that they already have. So for any of the forfeitures and seizures that the US government has obtained through that process, they should just keep that and use that in the strategic Bitcoin reserve. That could also have a couple of other digital assets sitting in it. And this is a really good read if you really want to get an understanding of where Saylor is coming from and the strategy that he's pushing forward, and I guess that he delivered to the Trump administration over the weekend. He's basically come out and said that we need to create a sound framework around crypto to create a bit of a crypto renaissance. And in those areas, we need to really have a look at digital. What is a digital token? What is a digital security? What is a digital currency? And how the US is going to enable people to use these new digital assets in both business and then also their personal lives. And the vision that he has going forward is really, really simple. So he wants millions of businesses to be able to very, very quickly issue digital tokens via approved digital exchanges. So if you're an artist and you want to issue tickets to a particular show, then rather than you just buying a paper ticket, you'll be buying, like, say, an NFT, and that NFT will then give you rights to attend the show either digitally or in person, and it may also provide you with the rights to maybe a special song or a special gift or other various different things. Or as you accumulate these NFTs over time, the artist can actually really have an understanding of who their biggest fans are by being able to track all of those issuances of NFTs, etc. And that all of the current financial assets, so if you think about all the current financial assets that we have in the world, and they're being restricted to being traded only when exchanges are open. So if you're here in Australia, the majority of our assets are traded on the Australian Stock Exchange, the ASX. And so that opens at 10 a.m. in the morning and then it closes at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we have that 6-hour window to be able to trade Australian listed assets. That's both bonds and it's both Australian. So companies like Commonwealth Bank, BHP, Woolworths, Coles, ANZ, etc. are all on there. But globally, Australians can only, or globally, we can only buy and sell those assets between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on that open exchange. You can do some over-the-counter transactions outside of that, but that's not open to retail investors. So they want to start to push forward with the move of all of these assets onto digital exchanges, so that then they can be traded 24/7. And then so digital currencies by the US, a dominant digital commodity, which is going to be Bitcoin, is going to serve as the backbone for that sort of infrastructure. And then they've got a whole lot of information here around, the US becoming the bankers of the world, and that all market participants will adhere to fair disclosure, ethical behavior, and a commitment to avoiding conflicts of interest. And because everything is on chain, you can track it all down, or it's all trackable. You can see things happen instantly, and you can see who the different parties are that are actually interacting on those exchanges or on those transfers. And then, so I guess the future also here is the opportunity. So the opportunity that he sees is that the US can transform and turbocharge the US economy over the next decade by really being the driver of digital tokens, digital security, digital currencies, and a digital commodity. So, exporting their ideas, exporting our securities, making the US dollar or the US digital currency the currency of the world and the commodity or their values. So that's how he's looking to do that. And his strategy with the Bitcoin reserve is to win the race and dominate cyberspace and own the future. And his strategy around doing that is for the US government to acquire between 5 and 25% of the Bitcoin network. That the strategic Bitcoin reserve has the potential to generate between $16 and $81 trillion in wealth for the US Treasury in 2045, and that they should never sell their Bitcoin. So by 2045, the reserve should be generating about 10 trillion annually and continuously growing. Now, if that all comes to play, this could really reinvigorate the entire US economy and really set it up to remain or remain and stay is the same thing. One of the wealthiest countries in the world. And so his conclusion here is really, really interesting. The time to act is now by embracing digital assets and fostering innovation in the United States so that we can secure the position as a global leader for the 21st century and beyond. Policymakers, regulators, and the industry leaders must collaborate to establish a framework that enables responsible growth and ensuring market integrity. A strong forward-thinking strategy will unlock trillions in economic value, strengthen national security, and position the US as the undisputed leader in the digital age. So if you just think about that, and if the US government comes out and starts to acquire that much Bitcoin, it's going to create an enormous amount of scarcity, because not only will the Federal Reserve be doing that, but there's also something like 30 US states that are putting legislation through their governing bodies to also start to create strategic Bitcoin reserves within each individual state. So if they're doing that and corporations are doing that as well, you're going to see a lot of capital flowing into the digital asset class, and that is going to drive up prices. It's going to be a simple scarcity. It's going to be a scarcity play here. There just simply will not be enough Bitcoin for everybody to buy, and there's only ever going to be 21 million. All right, so what's been happening in the global markets? So on Friday, let's have a look. So the S&P had a positive day, but it's nowhere near coming back up to where its highs were. So that was the Dow Jones. Again, S&P chart looks about the same. Not much happening here. Bit of a downtrend has started and a bit of a sell-off. It's just profit taking. I guess all growth assets have really just been sold off because of the uncertainty that tariffs have created in the US, and the S&P 500 has traded sort of outside of this bullish channel that we had, and it's sort of now consolidating here. It really hasn't put in any sort of bottom at all, but I would suggest we really don't want to see price break between, say, 5,500. We want for that to continue to. We want this to continue to consolidate in this particular area before marching further north. The NASDAQ chart looks exactly the same. The Russell has sold off a lot more. So as tariffs start to play into the US, you will see the smaller 2,000 companies actually struggle a lot more than the larger ones, because these companies are less global, more American based, and they'll be hurt first. All right, so Bitcoin. Actually, let's just have a look at what's happening at the US dollar. And the US dollar, again, is just continuing to be sold off. So the US dollar is declining significantly. And again, this is just driven predominantly by the tariffs that are coming in. The VIX has come off. So it's still relatively high, actually, but we want to see the VIX come back down here to under 20 before. Okay, that's just the volatility that's happening in the S&P 500. Total market cap of crypto is really just coming down here, and it's back down in this really dangerous zone of that $2.5 trillion. The market has sold off significantly. And so again, we really don't want to see the total market cap break down here, because if it comes and breaks down below this zone, we could see prices could come back to pre-2024. And if we have a look at the total market cap outside of BTC, again, it's $1 trillion. So we've lost 30% of our market cap of all other coins outside of Bitcoin. And what does the Bitcoin chart look like at the moment? And so as you can see here, we've got this really large, it's a white candle for me, but on most other people's charts, it's probably going to be a red candles. And so again, here we see it's just coming down here, and we've now broken sort of outside or below the fib 618 zone. And we've got new lows put in for the daily and the weekly. This is set up on the US. The US day still hasn't wrapped up yet from last night. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays forward. Solana chart looks very, very similar. Big sell-offs. Where are we looking for resistance for Solana? Back down at 127. Like if you have a look down here, this zone is where you've probably got some support. It was where we were sort of oscillating all through 2024. If we see price really break down below here, we really don't have other support levels until 80, 85. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the Solana, if Solana can maintain this sort of price here, or whether it's going to continue to trend lower. Meme coins and all the volume in meme coins look like they have just been eviscerated. No one is in the gambling casino anymore. That is meme coins. So we'll see if more people's capital starts to flow into actual real protocols that have real world value, not necessarily real world assets, but the Solana network, the Link network, the Sui network. These are all applications that are going to fuel and fund Web3, ICP. And the race for any of these protocols to actually have AI on their platform, and then as well as linking that in with gaming. So we haven't really seen anything launch or really have an impact in that gaming or AI space, and we've seen a bit of a shift towards more of this real world assets narrative. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for the rest of this year. But that being said, overnight we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we had 10 trades go off overnight on the PTS system. And this is the magic of being able to use an automated system to be able to trade. So this was 8 o'clock US time, which was in the afternoon, I guess the afternoon for us. And Bitcoin, we got an entry. We exited on our first profit target in the following hour, and then we were able just to follow the sell-off in Bitcoin and then exit here for a trailing stop, which is fantastic. So it would have been the way that works is the trailing stop would have been hit on this particular candle here, or sorry, this particular bar, but it just reverts it back into here because that's when the trailing stop exits. So this was a really, really profitable trade on Bitcoin. We also had a couple of trades on Say. So the first one we got in, we got stopped out at a max loss to begin with, and then we got in a couple of bars later, and then we followed that down to be able to exit on our first profits. Our first profit target was hit, and then our trailing stop. So again, this whole system is working whilst I was asleep. So all of these trades were entered and executed and generated profits, harvest those profits from the crypto volatility while I was asleep. And I was out and about with family on Sunday afternoon, as I hope most of you were enjoying it. We got a trade on CAS go through. We had another trade go through on Pol. And so if you see here, this trade actually went on for days. So this is a 1 hour chart. We got in, I think it was like Friday, and then Friday evening, and it basically just oscillated sideways. But then when the market sold off, we were able to then lock in all those profits overnight. And then so our first profit target was hit after a long time being in the market, and then we exited on our trailing stop. We had AVAX, and so I'm not sure how many actual discretionary traders would be able to manage sort of 10 open trades all at the same time, and then particularly if you're in Australia, being able to enter into all of these trades or harvest the profits from these opportunities when you're asleep. And so that's the beautiful thing of having a automated trading system that just works behind the scenes. It's one of like what I would maybe suggest is like the perfect side hustle, because once you set it all up and you get it running, it will then just generate profits for you on an ongoing basis. And so again, on AVAX, we entered in, a couple of hours went by, and then market sold off, and we were able to hit our first profit target and then lock in a significant amount of profit on this trail. Solana, we were in as well. Again, all of these charts look nearly exactly the same because all of the alts are moving in lock and step, or they move in a similar time. What do we get on here? So we had a short little trade here on Pepe. So we got in and got out really quickly. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sort of 5 hour trade. Completely happened overnight. Sui, again, sold off. Unfortunately, we got out, some of these trades, we really just like exited a little bit early. It would have been fantastic to have been able to just ride this wave down here. It would have been, yeah, some significant profits there. But we also don't know that this particular bar is going to be another red bar. It could be another green bar up here and take away some of those profits. So the system is really built to be able to identify short-term market movements, be able to pull out 70-80% of our profits once we hit our first profit target, and then have that trailing stop. I'd love to have seen more of that happening across all the trades for everybody, but it's better to lock in those profits that you've made along the way. So Pepe, Sui, and then the last one was Cardano. So ADA, again, chart's looking nearly exactly the same, but this is the system working absolutely perfectly. So it identified that the markets are selling off. It opened a significant amount of trades short and then profited on all of those. If you'd like to learn more about the Finsightful wealth community, come over and join us at school. You can smash the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you'll be able to see all of my market updates and some of the other educational material that we've got coming out. We've also got an event on this Saturday at UTS. There'll be a link to the Eventbrite sign up down below. Come in and spend the day with us, learn about trading, learn about wealth management, learn about how economic security is actually attainable by you, and then what a life can look like if you have time and location independence. That's happening this Saturday, and yeah, hope you're all having a great time trading out there. I know that your spot bags are looking pretty red at the moment. Mine certainly are. I really hope that you have another sort of side hustle, or that you're trading to be generating profits so that you can be buying more at these lows. Now, obviously, I am a financial advisor, but none of this has been financial advice. This is for entertainment and education purposes. And it's really just to give you a bit of an insight and a bit of an idea as what's achievable if you come and join a community like us over at Finsightful and use an automated trading system to generate profits. That's me out for today. I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening in the rest of this week.